of Vancouver. Hello, everyone. Apologies. I need to keep my voice low. So I saw this tweet and I'm just laughing. It says normally the vice president is a spare tire, but what we currently have in Aso Rock Villa is a flat spare tire. Babacir Lawal takes a swipe at Shettima. It's really. So first of all, let's look at it. Normally, running mates, you understand, they are usually like spare tire. You constitutionally really don't have a role, except of course just acting as shadow for the principal. So if that one is not around or whatever I see that they assign you to do, you do it. And so that's why when people are having this talk of, oh, let Peter Obi be running me, as a nah, we've done that before. For me, 2015, I wasn't voting for Buhari. I was voting for Osibanjo with the things that he had done and everything. Buhari, who wanted Buhari, especially after that 2011, riot. And also knowing the fact that Buhari is always someone who delegates. He never does the work. And you saw how that election, Osibanjo was the one who started campaign, who was all over the place. And so there was a lot of expectation that Osibanjo was going to be the one doing the work. And then Buhari will just focus on security and all of that. But anyway, long story short, we all know how that went, right? So when people are making this talk that, oh, Peter Obi should go and be running mate, I say running mate as in how? For what? Running mate that really doesn't have value. But anyway, so Shettima's own case is something else. This is the same person who was, making fun, derogatory fun remarks at Osibanjo, calling him an ice cream seller and all of that. Osibanjo has done more work than this one has done. I've seen quite a number of reports where people are saying that there's a falling out between Kashim and Tinubu, and that they are loggerheads or whatever. I'm just seeing a few pockets of reports here and there, but it's really crazy. But this one that Babacir said, and this is he said normally the vice president is a spare tire, but what we currently have in Aso Rock Villa is a flat spare tire. Babacir Lawal takes a swipe at Shettima. And it's just crazy because nothing, you don't even see Shettima anywhere. They don't use him. They used to use him before to go and do condolence. Now it's as if they just like go and stay in one place and out of sight, out of whatever. Yeah, but he still does a bit of some travels. You hear of some travels here and there. So what will he call himself? Now, even the ice cream man said back that he said Osibajo was selling. You don't see the ice cream sell. So where he come dey now? It's just so pathetic where we are currently in Nigeria and the way things have really fallen apart. These people literally rigged the election. Well, you don't even rig. People who really want to work are not going to be spending that time and energy rigging election. So they didn't rig election to work. They rigged the election to enjoy themselves, and they're doing exactly that. There are some people who said, like someone, this one is a Val, he said, Shettima, na ghost worker. Another one say he's acting the good flat spare tire because he wants to follow Bola Ahmed Tinubu enter second term. From there, he go show himself. August, we need further explanation. According to someone, and then someone said, when you live in a 21 billion naira house, what else you want in life? Then Dr. Dave Obafemi said he called someone a nice guy who should be selling ice cream. I wonder what he's selling now. Packaged and branded rice. And you know one thing that Tinubu, I don't think Tinubu has transmitted any powers to him since he started traveling out or whatever. I don't think Kashim Shettima has been acting president. I don't think so. Their illegitimate presidency, though, I don't think he has been acting illegitimate president in any way. So Tinubu is holding on to that thing extremely very well, and just doing just whatever it is. And in this life, you understand, just everybody just dey do kule and just get it on. And one of the things that Tinubu did was to use that whole sickness thing to make the North feel that, oh, he wasn't, like he was literally dying. Meanwhile, there was nothing like that. It was all made up. And there were a lot of people, even in the northern part of the country, there were a lot of permutation that people were doing openly, that, oh, what happened with Yaradua was what they were going to get again. And then, that, and they were having those talk where they were saying, oh, Tinubu says even if it's one day he does in presidency and he dies, it's okay. So people went along with all of that, whatever, that shenanigans and rubbish, and voted. And that's the thing, is that for you to be able to rig election, you must have a critical number. So it was the North that gave Tinubu that critical number that he was then able to use, to rig election. Without those critical number, he would not have been able to do it. Just like what happened in Lagos. He didn't have the critical number to rig. Even though he rigged, what they could do was that they reduced the number of votes, but not that they could make him, make him the winner in that place. But I'm sure this person, what was his name, Osibajo, will be there somewhere laughing and just chilling and saying, okay, sure, you said I was selling ice cream or fit to be selling ice cream. What is it now that you are doing, and what that he's doing right now? Honestly, I just earlier on I read of a report. I think is it in Kwara, where they say there's a new, was it Kwara or Niger? I don't even know. A new set of terrorists that are terrorizing places. Literally, the whole of Nigeria is under siege. Literally, every part of Nigeria is under siege, and yet Tinubu is busy in France, chilling and having fun. Someone that should be impeached, someone that should be removed, ended up is the one that ended up, removing other people. It's just crazy, some of the things that we see in our country and some of the things that people do actually condone. But hopefully Nigerians are able to wake up. Nigerians should understand this thing is about election. This is not the time that we say, oh, let's vote for someone, the person, and when we vote for somebody, the person should protect the vote. No. At this time, we should be saying, when we vote, we must ensure that the vote is counted for the person we voted for. That is the mindset every Nigerian must have. Seen. Nobody can rig my vote. Until we get to that mindset, we will continue to allow these charlatans enter into office and do anyhow. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.